So, good morning, class. Before we start, can anyone lead the prayer? Okay, again, good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday. How's your week? If you feel that you're not doing well, I'm here to tell you that you're doing well. If you get a low score, if you get tired these past few days, I will say good job to all of you. You did your best. So, thank you. Okay, so our lesson or yung pag-aaralan natin ngayon ay isang tula siya or poetry. Napakagandang tula nito for me. The poem entitled 1896, written by Aurelio Alvero. But before we start or before reading the poem or the poetry, we're having an activity. So, are you familiar in KWL? So, walang familiar sa inyo? Here, in the first, you will answer the question, what you know about the historic event in 1896. Then after that, the second question is what you want to know about this event. Then after this naman, or after this activity, or after this discussion, you may answer what you learned during and after the end of discussion. Okay, naintindihan ba? So, okay, mag-start na tayo. Number 1. What you know about the topic in the event, in the 1896 event in our country? So, sinong may idea kung ano yung mayroon o ano yung kaganapan ng 1896 sa ating bansa? Can anyone share her idea? So, ayun, may sumagot. Sabi ni Mr. Lopez, binaril si Rizal sa Luneta. So, that's right po, no? In the year 1896, Rizal was executed in Bagong Bayan. 7 a.m. siya binaril noong December 30, 1896 yon. So, thank you for your answer, Mr. Lopez. Another, what you know about the topic? Another? Sabi ni Miss Balingit, the Katipunan or KKK was started in that year. Yes, tama po si Miss. No? Following the execution of Rizal in 1896, Bonifacio proclaimed Filipino independence on August 1896. This time, the Spaniards moved against him, no? Forcing his flight to the Marikina Mountains, while other forces headed by Emilio Aguinaldo were more successful and won control over some towns. And the cry of Balintawak occurred. The cry defined as the turning point when the Filipinos finally refused Spanish colonial dominion over the Philippine Islands. So with tears in their eyes, the people as one man pulled out their cedulas and tore them into pieces. The cry defined as the turning point when the Filipinos finally refused Spanish colonial dominion over the Philippine Islands. So with the tears in their eyes nga, no, the people as one man, sabi ko nga, pulled out their cedulas and tore into pieces. So, yun yung mga idea no, na naganap noong 1896. So, the next question is, what you want to learn about the historic event in 1896? So, ano yung mga gusto nyong malaman about dun sa historic event in 1896? So, ayun, may mga sumasagot, no? Why Rizal was executed? Who is the leader of Katipunan? So, who led the cry of Balintawak? Sabi ni Miss Pangilinan. At ito pa, what is Balintawak? And what happened in the 1896 in the Philippines? So, okay, maybe yan yung mga gusto nyong matutunan in our lesson, no? So, maybe yung mga gusto nyong matutunan na yan ay nasagot na or masasagot after our discussion, no? So, let's continue na in our main topic, the poem 1896 by Aurelio Alvero. So, yung pag-aaralan nga natin ngayon na poetry ay, ano nga ulit yung title? 1896 na isinulat ni Aurelio Alvero. So, alphabetical, isa-isa, magbabasa ng tula. Let's start with Alvarez. Mr. Alvarez, read the first paragraph and the next to you will continue the next paragraph. So, one person, one paragraph, okay? So, gets ba? So, okay. After reading that, so, tapos nyo nang basahin yung tula, sa tingin nyo, ano yung nais iparating ng author? Or about saan yung tula na binasa nyo? So, thank you for your answers and sharing your ideas. So, the poem gave highlight to the event that has given birth to the now independence of our country, the 1896 revolution, no? The poem included various indigenous people and laborers who shouted freedom all throughout the poem. So, and yung tula na pinag-aralan natin or yung binasa natin had given importance to the marginalized sectors of society and had given them a voice of power. Diba? This has given the poem an authentic and aesthetic viewpoint. And also, on another perspective, the poem has been written in support for the Katipunan. Diba? Alam naman natin yan na yung 1896 na poem na yan ay parang sinusupport na yung Katipunan, no? Yung grupo ng Katipunan o yung organisasyon na yun, yung KKK. Whereas the people cry for freedom in the poem, it is probably intended to suggest that the Katipunan Party has the full, uncritical, and universal support for all the Filipinos. So in this perspective, the poem is about being united, being one, and being Filipino. The cry awoke Balintawak and the echoes answered back. So, freedom, di ba sabi doon? These lines marks as the beginning of the raging battle for freedom among the Filipinos against the Spaniards. So, the cry signifies the powerful shout of the people, especially Filipinos fighting for our independence. The echoes signifies shouts of the people or the Katipuneros who despite the odds chose. So, for our activity, so meron tayong activity, no? Dito may question na sabi dyan, what emotions do you feel when reading the poem? Pick out the lines that set the mood. So, ano yung emosyon na naramdaman nyo, yung emosyon na pumasok sa damdamin nyo nung binasa nyo yung poem na yon? At pick out the lines that set the mood. At piliin yung lines nyo na nag-set ng mood na yon. So, ang ating another topic for today is an essay naman siya. Kanina poetry, so now essay naman. Entitled, What is Youth? By Ibrahim Jubaira. But before that, ano nga ba yung essay? So, sino yung may idea what is essay? So, an essay is a short piece of writing that describes, narrates, discusses, explain, or defends a certain topic or opinion, no? Alam naman natin na ang essay ay may isang topic at dito nananarrates, nadidiscuss, o nadidescribe nga yung isang certain topic, di ba? An essay can be solely on a person's ideas or it may be a combination of a person's or combination of a person and other people's idea. So, pwede siya maging kombinasyon ng idea mo tsaka ng idea ng iba. So, an essay, yun nga, no? Pwede siya maging kombinasyon ng idea mo at ng idea ng ibang tao. So, whatever the source is, an essay provides information to the reader. So, gets ba? And, essentially, an essay ay meron siyang 3 parts. So, sino yung nakakaalam ng 3 parts? So, yung 3 parts niya, yung tatlong part ng essay ay ang introduction, yung body, and lastly yung conclusion. So, let's take a look at the parts one by one. So, yung number 1, yung introduction, ay as a preview to the The introduction supposed to motivate the readers o yung mga mambabasa na basahin hanggang matapos yung essay or to read the entire thing, no? So, to do this, the writer can ask questions, state an argument, or tell an anecdote. So, yung intro natin sa essay must contain the main points or arguments of the essay. Yun yung introduction. So, pwede tayong maglagay ng mga katanungan dyan or arguments para ma-motivate yung mga readers na basahin hanggang matapos yung essay. So, gets ba kung ano yung introduction? So, let's move on. Next is number 2 is the body. So, yung body or yung katawan, yung pinakakatawan ng essay natin. The body develops the introduction by discussing the arguments presented doon sa introduction. It composed of at least 3 paragraphs siya. Pero yung mga writers or kadalasan, no, normally devote 1 paragraph to an argument. Like what you learned in writing paragraph, you must ensure that each paragraph revolves around only one topic lang, di ba? Each paragraph dapat isang topic lang siya. Pag ibang topic na, another paragraph na po yun. So, also, make sure that all the questions or arguments you raise in the introduction will be answered in the body. So, number 3, the last part is the conclusion. Yung conclusion naman, ito yung bandang hulian ng essay. This summarize the points raised in the essay. Yung conclusion, normally hindi siya naglalast for more than 1 paragraph. To be effective, it can be repeat the main point of the essay. It can raise a question for readers to think about, or it can end with a challenge to the readers. So, yun nga, alam na natin yung 3 parts of essay. So, ngayon, meron tayong pag-aaralan na isang literature. Isa tong essay, sabi ko nga kanina, na entitled, What is Youth? Written by Ibrahim Jubaira. So, itong essay na ito ay isa siyang definition essay. So, yung definition essay ay nagbibigay meaning doon sa word, term, or concept. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng 10 minutes only to read the essay and find out why contracted to popular saying, youth is not wasted on the young. So, okay? I'll give you 10 minutes. You may start reading now. So, di ba? Tapos nyo nang basahin yung essay. So, di ba? Yung essay na binasa natin ay about sa kahulugan or definition ng youth. Di ba? The writer is what? Ano nga ba yung writer? Di ba? Father siya. So, nagbabasa daw ng tula yung kanyang oldest son. It is entitled to the Filipino Youth. At sinabi ng son sa kanyang tatay na he knew what it is to be a Filipino. But, what is youth? So, yun yung tanong ng anak. So, the father wrote this essay. So, the definition of youth. So, inano niya yung, in-express niya kung ano yung definition ng youth through this essay. So, in our activity, you can share your thoughts and interpret the essay you read. So, can anyone share his, okay, wala. Magko-call ako ng name. So, sino ba? For you, Miss Julia. Miss Julia. So, explain the line in the essay na nagsasabi na youth is the seed time of life. It is curiosity and sober thoughts. Yes? Yes po, no? She is right. Very good, Miss Julia. So, can anyone again share his idea? Okay, Mr. Brian. So, very good po, no? So, tama po sila. So, my next question. Describe at least one manifestation of youth that father had explained. Miss Aubrey. So, thank you, Miss Aubrey. Another? Wala na? So, wala na. And my last question, why confusion a part of a youth? Mention some other incidents that causes confusion in the youth.
Yun yung naalala ko kayo, ma'am.
So, thank you guys for sharing your thoughts and ideas about the essay. So, okay. That is your take home activity that will be passed on Tuesday. Thank you, grade 7 Diamond. Goodbye and see you tomorrow. Thank you.